Welcome to the Full-Time FBA Show. In each episode, it's our goal to help you turn part-time hours into a full-time income selling almost anything on Amazon. And now, your hosts of the show, Stephen and Rebecca Smotherman.
Welcome to episode 239 of the Full-Time FBA Show. Today, we're going to talk about the number one Amazon seller newbie mistake. It's a mistake that lots of beginners and some experienced sellers make, so let's talk about avoiding that. And with me to talk about it is my wife, Rebecca. What's up, Rebecca?
Well, it is no mistake that I am here today to talk with you about this topic. I don't know. I'm always trying to figure out, what's my segue going to be? And yeah, that's the best I could come up with today. But I'm excited about getting into this topic because it's one that, like you said, newbies and other more experienced sellers both make.
Yeah, so let's avoid this mistake together on the Full-Time FBA Show.
If you're new to selling on Amazon or thinking about selling on Amazon, or even if you've been selling on Amazon for some time now, there is a mistake that you might be making or that you might make in the future that will literally cost you thousands of potential dollars in profits. And since the goal of every episode of the Full-Time FBA Show is to help you make a full-time income selling on Amazon, we want to be sure you're not making this mistake.
Yeah, and this mistake is not one that we hear about all too often, but like Rebecca said, it could literally cost you so much in profits, potential profits, so we want to avoid this mistake together. So we've talked about on this podcast many different types of common mistakes that Amazon sellers have made, but I think this one is probably the sneakiest, mainly because it might sound like a good idea at first, but it ends up being a really costly mistake. So what is the mistake? Well, first we're going to tell you the mistake, then we're going to break down all the ways this mistake can be stealing your profits.
So basically it comes down to this. The mistake you want to avoid as a newbie seller or even as an experienced seller is getting stuck in the learning stage of selling on Amazon and delaying taking any action on what you're learning. Now, we get it. There are some things you need to learn before you start selling on Amazon. We really love that, which is why we've put together a course, the Jumpstart Amazon course, which is our beginner course to help you put together a solid foundation both for what you need to understand and what you need to do to start your Amazon business with the highest and fastest level of success possible. You can check out that course at fulltimefba.com/jumpstart. Now, the Jumpstart Amazon course is over 10 hours of video training with zero fluff added to pad that time. And we believe that if you take those 10 hours of learning with the Jumpstart Amazon course, then you're ready to begin taking action on starting to sell on Amazon.
Exactly. But the problem is, even after certain Amazon sellers start to learn the basics, they still don't take action on what they're learning. And so in the rest of this episode, we will share some of the common reasons people don't actually take much action on the information that they learn in an Amazon beginner course, and how to overcome these reasons that are stopping you from making those profits now in your Amazon business. And so we have a few reasons we're going to discuss today, and no, they're not in any special order. These reasons are just the ones we hear about the most, and find out that someone who already has basic knowledge of selling on Amazon has not actually even started selling on Amazon yet.
The first reason that some Amazon sellers wait too long to actually start selling on Amazon is this. They say, I want to learn everything there is to learn so I can avoid all the mistakes. At first, this sounds like wisdom, right? Learn everything so you can run your Amazon business with perfection and excellence from the beginning. But here's the problem with that. There will always be something else to learn. There's always going to be a new strategy, some new guidelines from Amazon that you need to learn, a new sourcing skill, some new way to expand your Amazon business. There's always going to be some new something for you to learn. And if you wait until you learn it, then you will never start. You know that old saying, experience is the best teacher. Think of learning a complex new board game. If you spend all your time reading the rules but never actually play the game, then you're not ever going to have fun playing that game because you're not playing it. It's important to read through the board game rules so that you know the basics, but then you start playing the game. You can refer back to the rules if you need to, and then after you've played a few times, you can learn more advanced strategies of gameplay. And the same goes for Amazon. Learning the basics is enough to get you started. And then as you start selling, you can learn more advanced strategies for selling on Amazon.
Right. Colin Powell, former United States Secretary of State, has a rule that he followed when it came to decision making that I think applies to this situation. It's called the 40-70 rule, which states that you need between 40 and 70% of the information to make a good decision. With less than 40%, you are probably going to make a poor choice. And with more than 70%, you will probably end up taking way too long to make the decision, to take action, and that opportunity that comes with taking action might be gone. So again, that's why we have the Jumpstart Amazon course, which we feel gives you everything you need to know to get started selling on Amazon. Does not overwhelm you with giving you too much information that's going to overwhelm you at the beginning stages.
Now, the second reason some people might get stuck in the learning stage and never take any action in their business is they say this: I don't want to take action yet because I fear failure. So you might know and understand that the fear of failure is what's stopping you from taking much action in your Amazon business, or it might be a subconscious thought that you're just realizing right now for the first time. But in either case, the fear of failure is a powerful force trying to stop you from being successful. And that fear is a normal part of doing anything new in life, including starting a successful Amazon reseller business. So the first and the best step to overcome that fear is to acknowledge it and think it through. What is it that you actually fear? You might be saying, I fear accidentally selling an item that's counterfeit and my Amazon account will get shut down, so I need to keep learning to avoid that from happening. So this is just an example. Let's walk through this. This is how you can handle any fear that you might be experiencing with your Amazon business. So think it through. If you're afraid of sourcing a counterfeit item and your Amazon account getting shut down, think about if you source this item from a retail store, either online or in the store, then you're going to have a receipt that proves where you got the item. So if you keep the receipt, then you have proof that it's not counterfeit. And you might be thinking, but what if I get this item at a garage sale or a thrift store? They don't put the item's name or the UPC on the receipt at a thrift store. And when did you ever get a receipt at a garage sale? So the solution to that is don't source items that could be easily counterfeited and often are counterfeited at garage sales or thrift stores. So brand new Jordans or a Kate Spade purse should not be purchased for resale from garage sales or thrift stores. It might be genuine and you might think it's a new item, but you have no proof in the eyes of Amazon.
Or maybe your fear is this: if I can't sell this item for a profit, then I'm going to lose money. I need to learn how to not lose money on a sale. So I'm just going to keep learning and take action later. Okay, let's think that through. Yes, it's possible that you're going to lose money on a sale, but guess what? That's possible for even big companies like, for example, Walmart. They don't always make a profit in every single transaction, but they do make a profit in almost all of their transactions, which makes up for the ones that they didn't sell at the expected price. You just need to focus on running your Amazon business with the most profitable sales that can help you overcome the sales you make, which cause you to lose money. Plus, every time there's a loss in your Amazon business, you want to find out why. So I would say about 90% of the time, you can do a little bit of research and find out why the item did not sell at the higher price you expected, why it took forever to sell, why you had a loss instead of a profit. Whatever went wrong, you can usually find out why. So when you lose money on a sale, find out the reason why you made a loss. And guess what? Experience is the best learner. So you can now learn how to avoid those situations more as you keep selling. And guess what? Spoiler alert, failures, they're going to happen. Mistakes are going to happen. But if you learn from them, then greater success is in your future as you avoid making these mistakes.
Another reason folks get stuck in the learning phase and don't take action in their Amazon business is that learning is easier than doing work. I mean, that might sound a little harsh, but truly it is a harsh reality. It is easier to watch videos. It's easier to listen to podcasts, to read articles, whatnot, than it is to do the work of running a business. Because selling on Amazon is just that. It is running a business. And if you're truly working as a business owner, it's going to require you putting in effort, putting in time, a little sweat equity. It's going to require decision making that will have consequences. All of those are things that you can do if you put your mind to it, but not everyone will take that step. Not everyone decides, you know what, I'm committed. I mean business. I'm actually going to do the work. I'm not just going to listen or read about selling on Amazon. I'm actually going to take steps toward being a business owner and do the hard work that's required for being successful.
Now, you might be listening to this as someone who's already started their Amazon business and is even a few months in or a few years into things, and you're thinking this whole thing does not apply to you. You do the work, you have the business. But these same principles can apply to other aspects of selling on Amazon, not just at the beginning stages of setting up your business. Ask yourself this question: are you avoiding taking action instead by just doing the research on a new aspect of selling on Amazon? For example, branching out into a new category. Are you stuck in the learning stage when it comes to that new category? Or learning a new tool and how to understand that? Or hiring help or outsourcing part of your business? Almost every part of your Amazon business can be an area where you can get stuck because you're just too focused on the learning stages and doing the research, and you're not committed to taking action. So, as we're wrapping up this episode today, what part of your Amazon business needs action taken? When you turn off this podcast, what are you going to do to actually take action in your Amazon business?
Like we said at the top of the show, your best teacher is your own experience. Getting out of your comfort zone and actually taking action will help you learn and grow. You know that we at Full-Time FBA don't want to leave you to walk through these steps of taking action on your own. Stephen is a great teacher and can tell you what to expect, what to avoid, what to do, and what not to do. And all of that is great, but the biggest lessons are really going to gel in your mind when you take action and you see how things actually go in real life in your own business.
And if you're interested in having more consistent help along the way, more trainings, more connections with me, we invite you to join our Full-Time FBA coaching program. Check it out, fulltimefba.com/coaching. That can help you really move your Amazon business forward.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. As a reminder, the links that we've mentioned in this episode can be found in the show notes at fulltimefba.com/239, because this is episode number 239. That includes the links for the Jumpstart Amazon course and the Full-Time FBA coaching program.
And next week on the show, we are going to talk about our best bookseller tips when it comes to Amazon FBA profits for resellers like you and me. So we'll see you next week on the Full-Time FBA Show.
That's all for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. So head over to fulltimefba.com/podcast, where you'll find the show notes and links from this episode. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter, where you'll get several free downloads of our popular and helpful Amazon FBA resources. Now, take action on what you've learned today so you can find success at turning part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA.